As we welcome you back to the Fairways of Life show from wherever you are joining us today, where we are today is right here. That's TPC River Highlands. This drone footage that you're looking at, the 15th green there on the right, that's a drivable par 4. Up on the left, you can see par 4 17th, and then as it continues to fly on its way, you can see 18. This Travelers Championship is a special event for so many different reasons. It is a signature event now. Nathan Grube is the tournament director. Great to see you, Nathan. How much has the designation as a signature event changed the character of the event, if at all?
Well, I would say thanks for having me on, Matt. I would say the anticipation is, you can feel it from the crowds to the fans. And so over the last few years, as the tournament was elevated last year and then is designated this year, Andy Bissett from Travelers, he's always wanted this event to continue to get better and better. And after 18 years, if you're continually trying to get better and better, you get to a point where we had this opportunity to be a signature event. And he said, absolutely, we're 100% in, let's do it. So I think there is this expectation from everyone, like, hey, you guys have now gotten this top designation. What are you going to do with it? And so Andy and I kind of feel this pressure of, wow, people better feel it when they come on property. The players, the fans, everyone, that we actually took a step forward. So I think anticipation is the biggest word, excitement of, kind of delivering on a promise that, hey, we want this to be the best event it can be.
That anticipation, that excitement. Andy was just telling us in the last segment that he feels like it is the best PGA Tour event. You've gotten awards in the past that would suggest the exact same thing. But what can you do? How do you step up an event that's been successful for so long and make it even better, given that it's now a signature event?
Well, I would say this. I think the first thing is that there's no better place to work than on the PGA Tour from the standpoint of events, right? I mean, all the tournaments actually work together to help each other. So Andy and I went to, which we always do, 4 or 5 events during the year, and we say, oh, we like what they did here. We like what they did here. We ask questions, and we tournament directors, we all help each other. Hey, here's what I did here. Be careful. Don't do this. This worked. This didn't. So we are all trying to help each other. We don't feel like we compete against one another. We feel like we are always trying to challenge one another. So any idea that you see out here, we probably stole pieces of it from a different tournament. And then ideas that you see elsewhere, I mean, they probably stole from us. But I mean stealing in the flattery, it's like, hey, I like that, I want to steal it. But I think where the challenge comes in is, how do you execute on that idea, right? How do you take that really good idea and actually say, oh, we're going to implement this now? And I think we have a title sponsor that gives us the time, the energy, the resources to actually do these great ideas. I think there's a lot of tournaments that might have ideas, but maybe they don't have all the resources behind them to be able to actually execute the ideas. Travelers has said, we want to build this vision. We want to build these ideas. And from the practice facility to the TrackMan, to the huge board that you see out here this year, to the ice cream in the coffee shop, to the cooling benches that we have on property, to all of the open to the public venues, we did one thing and I had another tournament say, I love it, I'm stealing that next year, and I'm like, yes, great, I love that. So I think as a tour, we all try to help each other get better. I think we're really lucky here that we have a title who gives you the resources to actually bring those ideas to life.
You've been at it for so many years now, being the tournament that follows the U.S. Open. And given in the wake of the U.S. Open, such as it is, I have to ask you the question once again then, Nathan, how do you turn something that so many events would have looked at as a negative to follow up a major championship, and you guys have spun that on its head and turned it into a positive?
That's a great question. I think you just called me really old when you said you've been here for as long
Ish.
as you have. Ish. Well, it starts with, again, a title who, Andy, and I think your audience knows him as well. Anytime you've had him on, he's like, any challenge is an opportunity to get better. And I think we tried to lean into what the week after the U.S. Open was. Okay, what is it? Why are they tired? Why do they have said historically, I don't want to play the week after the Open? And every idea that came back to us, we went, wait, we can fix that. We can work on transportation from the Open to here. We can handle a better daycare program. We can make this a super fun place for the families. We can make this great for the caddies. We can, like, every idea that came back to us about why the U.S. Open was so hard, we're like, wait, we can lean into that and actually turn that into a positive. So, there's 25 little things that we did that are kind of almost the opposite of what they experienced last week. And then when you do that, the players feel like you're trying, the players feel like you care, the players feel like you're delivering on a promise, and it becomes very personal to them, like, oh man, Travelers is really making an effort to do these things. So, that was kind of a vague answer, but it was like every reason that we got about why the week after the U.S. Open was difficult, it's like we had an answer for it. And so like over the years, just chipping away at it, we've kind of gotten here where the field that we have this year being a signature event, the week after the US Open, like we love it. Like we don't want to give up the date. I remember this interview in '07 when somebody said, I am so sorry you got the week after the Open, and then here we are, somebody asked me 2 years ago, how did you get so lucky to get the week after the US Open? And it's funny, but I mean, it's one of those things where we have always felt that the date was never going to define us. The date wasn't going to make the tournament. We were going to make the date. And who we were and what we were was going to make that date, not the reverse. And just that mentality has helped us chip away at it. And, kind of here we are today.
That support, of course, comes not only from the players that Nathan was talking about, but also the community. How has the community continued to step up, especially now that your signature status in terms of volunteers and just everybody from Southern New England and the surrounds of the Northeast enjoying this very, very unique event?
So I guess I'll start with it's the biggest build we've ever had. And what that means, it's the most corporate support we've ever had on this property. Our volunteer committees filled up faster than they've ever filled up before. Ticket sales are outpacing last year. I'm trying to go through all the metrics of like, hey, how do you measure the community coming out? Well, corporate support, volunteers, tickets. The media support has been phenomenal. We were in, New England, to your point. We're the only event in New England. And so we actually had people calling us from Boston going, hey, yeah, I need to get some tickets. I haven't been there in a couple of years. And then we had, companies out of New York saying, hey, my clients are asking me for tickets to your event. So when you kind of are getting the clients asking the companies for that pull, that you've created something that people want to attend. So the feedback has been awesome. The show this week with the players that are on this stage is going to be magnificent. So I'm very excited for our fans and everybody out here.
Awesome. We are excited too. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for the time. Appreciate you guys hosting us year after year. And this year, of course, the Travelers Championship, as we've noted, a signature status means that it has taken that step forward, and everything along with it because of these collective efforts have gotten better and better as they always do year in and year out.